Today, basically, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on apparently some guy gave me a comment, and apparently this guy asked me basically about when it, like, why do he has dents in his mesh. Well, one of the things I'm going to basically say about the reason why he has dents in his mesh, and I'm going to give a perfect example. One of the main reasons why you have a dent in your mesh is because you're not modeling the object with 4 polys. You see this entire object right here is all 4 poly right here. Completely 4 poly. And if we were to go on this side, it's completely all smooth and all symmetrical. What I mean in 4 polygons is, let's say if I were to click on this face right here. This face right here has approximately, let's say basically 4 edges. This has at least 4 edges and 4 vertices right here. It says so right here. But this other number, forget about the other number after the slash. That doesn't matter. But this has 4 polygon has to represent at least 4 edges and 4 vertices to make a 4 polygons. And when you're modeling anything that you're doing, you should try to model with at least 4 polygons. At least try to model with at least over 4 polygons in general. You only model with 3 polygons unless you really have no choice and you cannot turn that actual 3 polygon into a 4 polygon. That's a different situation. That's when you would model, let's say like 3 polygons. Which I'm going to give you another example a little bit later. So I'm just going to go into here. And I'm going to go into face. And I'm going to show you an example if I were to triangulate faces like this. You see, when I triangulate faces like this, you see how it's not very smooth. You see how the ridges are not very smooth at all. It's like all dented out. That's because it's triangulated faces right there. And you see how this part is not smoothed. That ledge is not smooth. You can't really see it. But let's say let's say for example when you're modeling another geometry. Let me try to add, let's say like a sphere, for example. And let me try to go into here tab. And let me try to go into CTRF and triangulate polygon like that. So if I were to actually go into here and go into the sphere and add subdivisions, you see how it's not even perfectly smooth and it looks very uneven right there. That's what it looks like when you model with, like, let's say like with pretty much 3 polygons right there. It doesn't smooth out the edges too. So that's to keep in mind too. I'm going to show you a way how to get rid of three to get rid of let me show you how you can get rid of triangulated faces. If you go into here and convert basically trisses to quads, it would get rid of all the triangulated faces like that. Mind you, like, it doesn't always work 100%. One of the things I'm going to show you, basically, another mistake someone could make too, is let's say if they were to go into here and go extrude like that. Like that. That's why, this is one of the reasons why your mesh has a dent in it, like that. Is because you have pretty much an extra, basically, polygon or an extra vertex in it as well. So that's one of the main reasons why you could have a dent in your mesh. And this is another main reasons why you could also have another dent in your mesh, is if you have an unwanted edge that you're not supposed to have. That's another thing. So if I were to go into here, for example, and select just random edges, and just go extrude. Sorry if I sneeze like that. Let me try to raise that up like that. This is one of the main reasons why you could probably have another dent in your mesh like that, is because you have unwanted vertices like that. Another main reasons why you can have another dent in your mesh, I would say, if we were like, let's say like to select random ones, extrude, like that. That's one of the reasons why you can have a lot of dent in your message, is because you have way too much of these in there. And that's one of the main reasons why you can have dents, is because you have unwanted vertices. And another thing I'm going to actually show you too is this. So let's say if I were to actually go into, let's say here, and just go like edge, and just go edge slide like that. Here's another way to get rid of that. So let's say if you have an unwanted vertex right there, and you have two like edges close together like this, you would basically select the outside. You would make sure you're on edge select. You would select the outside of this, not inside right here, because if you select the inside right there, it only affects this other geometry right there. So you see how I did. I actually clicked a little bit closer to vertices, but more on this side instead of this side, instead of like this side right here. I clicked more on this side, and this would like get the outer edge like that ready. So now if I click on this side right here, like that, or like, so if I were to go like that, this is it. So let's say if I were to go into wireframe, I'm going to first of all go into wireframe to have this work. So I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to click on this one edge. And you have to make sure you're on wireframe, or else this won't work. If you click on wireframe, if you click this outside edge right here that is on this side instead of this side, and you close up on orthographic view, you can select the outside edge like that. Like that, and we hold down shift, we go CTR edge slide like that, CTR, so we go edge slide like that, kind of like that, and that that is what we have right there basically, and that's how you get the geometry of this like the way it is basically. So that's one way, and this is one tutorial on how to do this, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of people usually has a lot of dents in their mesh, is because they have unwanted vertices, unwanted polygons, unwanted edges, or anything like that. That's one of the reasons why they have dents in their mesh. One of the main reasons why. And I just showed you how to select vertices and how to select vertices and edges properly. So if I were to go into here, for example, and let's say if I were to actually move this, see to like edge slide like that, move that right there, and make sure I'm on edge mode. Now if I were to select the outside like this, and go CTR edge slide, let me try to go into here, wireframe. Just make sure we're off of wireframe, and now we're just going to go edge slide like that. And that's where we select that. So if we want to select the inner one, we would go in like this, wireframe. And we would select the inner out like this. And just go out of that. And just go out of wireframe. And this is how we would select that. And when you're doing, like, let's say, for example, edge slide, you want to, another thing you want to try to do is make sure that this right here doesn't touch in it, doesn't touch and doesn't really could go right in and touch this at all. When you're adding like smaller edge loops, one of the things you want to do is kind of give this like enough space where it's not touching but enough space right there. And you see how this has a lot of space in it when you're doing an edge slide. So let's say I wanted to, let's say, add an edge slide to this, for example. This is probably the reasons why a lot of people can't get a lot of edges away from an actual, like, another edge, because the edge is way too close to the actual geometry. So if I were to go into here, rotate, you should only do it close enough, like right about there, where it's barely touching it, and you have like a little space in between, and that's how you do it. And that's how you do it. And I hope you like this tutorial a lot. Please subscribe if you like or whatever. Please give me likes. And I hope this tutorial helps you out. And I hope this tutorial helps this person out that has commented me. That has made a comment on me about this tutorial. And I'm doing this tutorial for you. So it could show you basically how to properly do things. And how to properly model an actual geometry.